I've always been a light sleeper. But it wasn't until I moved into my new apartment that I started experiencing the most terrifying nights of my life. It began with an overwhelming sense of dread that would wash over me as soon as I lay down in bed. At first, I brushed it off as stress or anxiety. But as the nights went on, I started to feel a presence in my room. I would try to convince myself it was just my imagination. But the feeling only intensified. One night, I woke up to an inability to move or speak. I was frozen, paralyzed with fear. That's when I saw it. A dark, shadowy figure standing in the corner of my room. It was tall and imposing, with an aura of malevolence that seemed to fill the entire space. I tried to scream, but my voice was silenced by some unseen force. The figure began to move closer, its presence suffocating me. I felt my heart racing, my mind screaming, but my body was trapped. The figure loomed over me, its darkness seeping into my skin like a cold, damp mist, and then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished. I was left gasping for breath, my sheets drenched in sweat. I tried to tell myself it was just a dream, but the memory of that figure has stayed with me. I started to research sleep paralysis, hoping to find some explanation for what I experienced. But the more I read, the more I realized that I wasn't alone. There were countless others who had seen similar shadowy figures during episodes of sleep paralysis. It was as if our minds were tapping into some dark, collective unconscious. I've tried to avoid sleeping ever since, but the fear of that figure has become a constant companion. I've started to feel like I'm losing my grip on reality, like the darkness is seeping into my waking life. And then, last night, I saw it again. This time, it was standing right next to my bed, its presence more pronounced than ever before. I felt its icy breath on my skin, and I knew I was doomed. As I lay there, paralyzed with fear, the figure began to whisper a single phrase in my ear. "You'll never wake up." Suddenly, everything went black. When I came to, I was lying in a hospital bed, surrounded by the beeping of machines and the sterile smell of antiseptic. The doctor told me I'd been asleep for 3 days, and that they'd found me unresponsive in my apartment. I tried to tell them about the figure, but they just smiled and patted my hand, telling me it was all just a product of my imagination. But I know the truth. The shadow figure is real, and it's waiting for me. Every time I close my eyes, I feel its presence looming over me, waiting for me to drift off into the darkness. And when I do, I know I'll never wake up again.